Welcome to the Resonate Church Missoula podcast. This podcast exists to equip and encourage the members of Resonate Church to get the gospel to people, people to community, and community to mission. Thanks for listening. Makayla, it's good to see you today. We're excited to have you on the next episode of the testimony series in this podcast. I know you've been part of our church for quite a few years in kind of a variety of capacities, and it seems like in the last year, more and more committed. I see you around all the time. You were the ambiance queen over Christmas break. You were setting up every single week, so we're seeing you a lot. So it's been fun to get to know you more and more, and I've been thankful for your involvement in our church. But I don't know you very well, and I think probably many of the owners in our church don't know you very well. And so I'd love to, in this time, just love to get to hear your story, hear you talk about your upbringing and your family and what God has done in your life over these. How old are you?
23.
23 years. Yeah. Over these 23 years. Excited to hear about it. So I'll just kick it over to you, and I'll ask some questions as we go along. But
awesome.
I'd love to hear your story. So start from the beginning. Tell us about yourself.
Yeah. Well, I'm born and raised in Missoula. I'm like 8th generation Montanan, so like my whole entire life has been Montana. I grew up going to Catholic school, and then got pretty bullied there. So then eventually went to public school. But
where'd you go?
I went to St. Joe's for elementary or pre-K through elementary, and then Washington Middle School, then Sentinel for high school.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, Sentinel.
Rivals.
No,
but
I don't care. I pretend like I care because I have to as a Big Sky coach, but
I don't care
deep
anymore.
Down, I don't care. I didn't go to these high schools.
But yeah, so.
Okay, Sentinel Spartan.
Yes, yep. Played softball all through high school, or like from like 5th grade all through high school and everything. So yeah.
Nice. So you're from Missoula. Do you have any siblings?
I have one. His name is Noah, and he's 7.
Okay.
Yeah.
So pretty good age gap.
Yeah, 16
there.
years.
16-year age gap. Tell me about your family growing up.
Yeah.
You were functionally an only child.
Yes.
For most of your
for 16
upbringing.
years, I was an only child. My biological dad, my mom had me when she was 21, and then my biological dad left her like when she found out she was pregnant. And so like for the first 2 years of my life, she raised me on her own. And then for all intents and purposes, I'll say my dad. He's came into the picture when I was 2. He soon or later adopted me when I was in 4th grade. So legally he is my dad. But yeah, so
they got married.
No, they were technically like common law married.
Okay.
Just because they were together for so long.
Gotcha.
So, but yeah, so growing up, like I was introduced to Jesus at a really young age. One of my like family friends was living with us at the time, and he started going to Zootown Brew. And so whenever his kids were in town, or whenever he had his kids, I would go with him to church. And then it started to evolving into like whenever, like just every Sunday, like I'd go with him, even if he didn't have his kids. And so I got introduced to God at like, probably I was 6 or something. I was pretty young. And then have just kind of been running towards him ever since.
And that was kind of on your own impetus?
Yeah. My parents were more so like Creaster people, like only Christmas and Easter, like church on Sunday. Didn't really do that. They did kind of like, there were different phases growing up where they did go to church fairly consistently. But they do like to pick and choose their churches. And so if like a pastor would leave or something like that, that's when they would just stop going altogether. But then also would not, like, it was very much so only go to church on Sunday, didn't live it out the rest of the week. My dad growing up was also like a very narcissistic, abusive person too. So a lot of it was very like cover up, like go to church on Sunday, make sure you look like a perfect family. And then behind the doors, it was a sight to see. So. And
when you say your dad, the dad that adopted you?
Yeah, correct. Yeah.
Okay. Is your biological father in the picture at all?
No, I've never met him.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
every time you say your dad.
Yep, that's
Okay.
that's yep.
That's helpful.
And that's Noah's dad. So
Okay.
yeah.
Gotcha. Okay. So you're starting to check it out on your own, starting at a young age.
Yeah. So like starting in 6th grade, I started going to Church at the Gates, and we had kind of started going there. And then I started going to their youth group, and I was there from 6th grade all through high school. And then
when you first started going, was Mark Pritchard still the pastor there? He's been there a long time.
Yeah. Okay. So it was Meadowview at the time, and then when their old pastor left, then they changed to Church at the Gates.
Okay.
And then we tried it out that time or there for a little bit, and then my parents didn't really like the new pastor, so they left. I stayed and went there. And then I also one of my friends brought me to Zootown, so I was going to Zootown from like high school, like freshman in high school, all through senior year. So I was going to both Church at the Gates and Zootown's youth group, and then was going to Zootown on Sundays. I was more.
And that would have been, you're 23. That would have been in kind of the heyday of Zootown.
Yeah, I was there during the church split. And
oh, you were the first one.
Yes. Yeah. So I was there through it all. Yeah.
And when you say Zootown, do you mean more of the south side where Scott was, not Zootown Brew?
Yes.
Where Kyle was? Okay.
Yep.
Wow.
But yeah, so
I've heard like 100 different perspectives on it, but yeah, I wasn't there for it.
Yeah, I really loved like everybody who, like, I did love the people there. It was just eventually like what Scott was preaching definitely started to turn away from the Bible. And so that's kind of when I took a step away from, I was like, God definitely gave me the discernment on those. And so definitely took a step back from there. And then that's around the time when I found Resonate. So, yeah.
Okay. So you were through high school, you're at Sentinel and you're going to Zootown.
Yep.
And then, so it would have been about 7 years ago. That's right. That you graduate high school 5 to 7 years ago. Yeah. Okay. So then you came to U of M. Is that right?
Yeah.
Right,
UM was the only school that I had applied to, because my when I was like in high school, my dad was also like a drug addict growing up, and so him and my mom had gotten divorced, and he was kind of like AWOL. And at that time, when I was in high school, I really wanted to go to GCU. I was sick of Montana. Like I hated winter. Like, get me out of here. And then Noah came into the picture. Everything with my dad happened, and then I was like, I can't leave my mom to take care of a newborn and toddler for the next like 15 or so years. Like, and so I decided just to stay, because I knew that she would need me quite a bit. And honestly, I was really happy too, because the major that I had wanted to go into, GCU didn't have it, but UM did. So
it was kind of a best of all worlds.
Yes, very much so.
So you got to be close to home, or even stay did you live at home for a while?
No, my mom and I can't live together. Like, love her to death.
But close to home.
Yes.
Close to home,
I'm
which
like,
is nice.
I'm a 15-minute drive. I can pick up Noah whenever she needs me to.
So you get to be a support to your mom. You also get to be there for Noah's entire life.
Yes,
you get to have his older sister there. It's been fun. I don't know him super well, but he went on the camping trip with us, and I've interacted with him quite a few times. He's a super sweet kid, so it's fun to have him around occasionally. Is your dad, is he connected with your mom now, or are they split?
They're divorced now. They got divorced. They were going through a divorce when I was a senior in high school. It's kind of when my mom finally put the nail in the coffin. It was like pretty much all through high school they were on and off again. And then senior in high school, he finally he had went on like a whole bender, and then came back, and he had found out that my mom was dating again, after they had gotten their divorce was finalized, everything was finalized. And then he had called me on the phone, had asked me where's your mom? And I was like, she's not here. I don't know where she's at. And he had told me that he was going to kill himself, and it was my fault that he was going to. So that's going through all of that. I've actually been no contact with my dad since then.
Oh, really?
Since that moment. Yeah. Okay. So for about 5 years now.
Yeah.
I've been no contact. Like Noah still sees him. He has supervised visitation with him, but
Okay.
but as for everything else, like
Yeah.
yeah. And so yeah,
Yeah.
but
No, that's really hard.
yeah,
It's hard when kids get caught in the middle
exactly
of that kind of fight.
yeah, that was one thing though that definitely helped me in my faith was like even though my earthly father had disappointed me and hurt me like throughout my whole life, that like God was there to just like pick up all the pieces of my life and just to be able to like mold me back together and like help me shape me into the person who I am today. So
that's so cool. Okay, so now you're in college, you're going to U of M, and you said that's where I got connected to Resonate. So tell me how that happened, and then what has the last 5 years been like?
So I met Jess Austin on on the Oval on like at the Bear Fair, first day of orientation. Like everything was just moved in, and yeah, met her there. And I was one of those people that had like ghosted her, did not want to talk. Like I was still kind of involved with Zootown and was like helping out with their youth groups. So I was like, I don't have time for this. Like I'm not going to do that. And I also like grew up with I have like pretty bad anxiety, and so like at that point it was really high too, and I was like, I don't know anybody that's going, I'm not going. And then like second semester started, or like a little bit before second semester, I had there was a girl in my hall, like in the same dorm hall as me, and I knew that she had been going to like Village and Resonate and stuff, and I was like, can I go with you? Because that's when I officially like decided to step away from Resonate, or not Resonate, Zootown. And I was like, can I go with you? And she was like, yeah, absolutely. So then I started going to Village with her, and then we'll go to church on Sunday with her. And that's how I met like Natalie and Faith Hardy. Like those are my roommates now. And yeah, those are like how I met them and pretty much everyone else.
Yeah. That's cool.
Mm-hmm.
So, I'll just let you continue through the kind of the college or the last 5 years.
Yeah.
I have questions, but I'll save them for a few minutes.
Sounds good. Yeah. I went through all of that and then, or started going to Resonate, and then I did go AWOL. I can admit that. Like I was very kind of like 1 foot in, 1 foot out the door with Resonate. And then I was always like kind of like on the cusp, but not. And then this year especially, like the Lord had been calling me a lot to like one thing I had been praying about was like I want like good community, I want good friends. Like last year especially was a really hard year and like very lonely year. And so I was like, Lord, like help me find a good community, good like solid friends. And he was like, it's literally been in front of you this whole entire time. And I was like, okay. And I was like, freshman move-in day, I was like really anxious to like help. And then Natalie was like, you can just stay with me and like we can do it together. And that was kind of the start of like, no, I'm gonna go like full in this year. Like God's calling me to do it. Like I'm going to like go all in. And especially this year, like it's been so great. Like have made some of the best friends that I'll ever have, and it's been a great year. Yeah, so far.
Wow. That's super cool to hear. You touched on what I was curious about, because like I said, I don't know you super well, but I have known of you for years. Like every once in a while, Makayla shows up, and oh, that's so cool, Makayla's here this week. And then this year, I said, what is going on? I've seen her every week. She's been at everything. Something has obviously changed in Makayla's life. So it's been really cool to see you. I mean, stick to that. You've been around everywhere for this whole year. So great to hear that that's been a blessing to you, and you felt like God was moving you that way. That's always fun. So in these last 5 years, like it seems like you've grown a lot in your, especially in the last year, community and even commitment to a church body. What about just your spiritual life? What does it feel like God's been teaching you during these college years?
It's been a lot. Like I feel like me freshman year and me now are two completely different people. He's definitely taught me like just to fully like surrender everything to him. Like I've pretty much always had like some sort of control issues. Like I really like to be in control, and it's like a lot of this year especially, like, or the last like few years, he's like, you just kind of gotta let me take control of it, and then like I'll tell you what you need to do, but other than that, like, let me handle it. And so it's been kind of along those lines, but also like working on patience, not like freaking out over the smallest things. A lot of just like making sure I put like my full faith and trust in him. And then, yeah, just also being like obedient and having discernment against like not good things or like ungodly things. And then, but also like being able to know like where God is calling me to, and what he has for my life. So,
yeah. Is you talked about the control stuff and not needing every little thing to be perfect. Is that kind of connected to the anxiety you talked about earlier? Is that all kind of tied into one? What would you, what has your experience with that been like? Did you grow up kind of that kind of a perfectionist control, anxiety forever? And then is that, how have you seen that change over the years?
Yeah. When I was younger, it was definitely like really bad. And then it's like, it kind of goes like, comes and goes. Like, I was like diagnosed. I wasn't actually fully diagnosed with it until I was actually like a sophomore in college. And that, I think like along those lines, it was usually like came out a lot during school. And like just like my relationships with people, like it kind of always had, I was like, okay, this isn't like how I want it to go. Like it's kind of stressing me out. And then it would like kind of spiral from there. So even like in high school, in middle school and stuff like that, I did struggle with making friends. And even into like my first few years of high school or like college, like I'm not friends with I'm not friends with anybody I was in high school with. Like I have very few friends from my freshman year of college. Like, and a lot of it was just like needing to have control over everything. And it's definitely gotten a lot better. There are definitely phases where it's really comes and goes, but or like worse or better days. But like one thing God's definitely like helped me with was like especially being more bold in my faith. Like that's one thing that's always held me back was like, oh, I don't want someone to think that I'm weird or like think that I'm being too pushy and stuff. Like growing up a Christian, like I was like, I don't ever want someone to think that I'm like forcing my religion on them.
Right.
Like I want them to see the glory of God and like how he can like save them and help them. But it was also like I always had that fear of like, oh, I don't want to be too overbearing. And that's like one thing, especially this year, that he's like helped me with a lot was like being more bold in my faith too. So
that's really cool to hear. So if somebody's sitting here, let's say it's a freshman in college that has some anxiety and perfectionism stuff, what would your encouragement to them be?
Yeah. It's a good question. I feel like kind of just letting them know like not to let it take a hold of them and like let it like encapsulate them, because that's definitely what I've done in the past was like you kind of have to like get past that like barrier of anxious, and then there's a whole like greener field waiting for you once you get past that. It's usually not as bad as like all of the stuff that you're thinking of as worst case scenario that's going on in the back of your head. Like it's usually not the worst case scenario. Like it's, if anything, it's like the best case scenario majority of the time. And if it is the worst case scenario, like something good's going to come out of it. And so,
Yeah. I think we all underestimate our propensity to catastrophize every scenario. We just think for some, I mean, maybe it's a survival mechanism or something like that, but our brains just make up the craziest.
Yes.
But what if they said this because they hate me and we just make up crazy stuff that it is really helpful, like you said, to develop the discipline of stopping those thoughts before they spiral way out of control. You don't have to go all the way down that road.
Yeah. And like, definitely one of the biggest things that I'll have to like say to myself is like, the enemy has no power over my thoughts. And so it's like, just kind of like, and then just go into prayer in that, like, Lord, help me like just keep my eyes on you, like not focus on the negative thoughts, like
Mm.
just have your voice louder than the enemy's voice.
Yeah, that's so good. What I've noticed this year, not only have you been around in the community, but also like eager to serve constantly, which is a pretty stark. Usually people do a year or two of just consuming the community before they start serving anywhere. And you kind of went from AWOL to all the way serving. What have you found? Like, what has come of that, or what has serving and volunteering done in you or for you?
Yeah, I think like it's just like I love helping people like make their lives easier, and that's like some people I've been told, me constantly asking them like, can I help, they're like, you don't need to always help. And so I've been trying to get better at that, but it's always like I just love like helping people and like seeing if I can make their lives a little bit easier. Especially if I know that I'm capable of it, like with ambiance, I'm like, I know that I'm capable of setting up a table. Like, let me help and make people feel invited into this space. And yeah, because I think even just coming here for years, like that's the first thing you see when you walk in the doors is just the ambiance table, like making sure that like you feel as invited as possible.
Yeah. So you're trying to use your gifts the way that God's wired you to bless the church, which I'm as somebody who is totally ambiance incompetent, I'm thankful there's people like you that can actually see, oh, when somebody walks in, here's what they should see for the first time. So very grateful for you and the ambiance team.
Especially like over break, having Haley just had a baby, like she's usually takes lead of that. Everyone else was out of town. Like I was like, no, give it to me. Like I'll do it every Sunday.
Yeah, that's such a blessing to have you willing to take that kind of thing on. Well, Makayla, we are thankful for you and thankful that this year has led to you being more and more invested. It's been really fun to have you around. Do you have any kind of final thoughts, or what would you say to? I know you've offered a little bit of this advice already, but what would you say to somebody who is maybe 1 foot in, 1 foot out? Maybe that could be a good application point.
I think just like 1 foot in, 1 foot out, like it gets pretty lonely. You may have friends on the other side, but just being in Christian community is just a whole different kind of joy that you experience. Like it's just never anything that I had thought that I would have. And this year especially has just been like so incredible just to meet everybody and like get to know like how they've come to Christ, and like how just seeing like God move through them throughout this year and just being able to live alongside each other is just so rewarding and just so awesome to see. And it's like just the anxiety of coming in is nothing compared to what's waiting for you, and like what God has for you and what his plan is for you. It's just like, I don't know. It's something that I was like never fully, I was like, I did give into like the resonates a cult kind of thing. Like I always had that on the back of my mind, and I was like, no,
I still do sometimes.
Yeah. I'm like, we just do life together, and like, and it's going to look weird to the secular world. Like I'll describe resonate to my coworkers and stuff, and they're like, why would you do that? I'm like, I don't know. Call me crazy if you want, but it's like, it's been so awesome. And I constantly have friends to like rely on and lean on, and just to be able to like be in community with and always be able to have someone there. And it's just so awesome to be able to have those kind of friendships, because godly friendships are way better than secular friendships.
Yeah, that's so cool. I like how a minute ago you framed that, like the anxiety of coming in as the new person is nothing compared to the joy of the friendships that you create. I like that you didn't say there is no anxiety. Like it is hard to come into a brand new group. That's a huge hurdle to get over, but the benefits far outweigh the costs.
Yeah, absolutely.
So that's a hard first step to take, but yeah, like you said, I would encourage anybody to make that step. And the cult thing. What's always funny because I understand people who think that. Like, I don't, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
I don't think that at all. I understand what they're saying. But what's encouraging is those same people, if they read Acts chapter 2, they would say that's a cult.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, if we're in the same camp as the church in Acts 2, I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
You call us whatever you want. Fine with me.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's really cool. It's been cool to hear about your story and what God's done in your 23 years. What are your plans for maybe the next 5 years or so? What are you hoping to see happen?
We'll see. I'm usually
nobody ever really knows.
Yeah.
But...
I'm like, I do know I'm starting cosmetology school soon.
Okay.
I'm going to Elevate.
Wow.
So I'm really excited
That's awesome.
for all of that. Coming up in like this new chapter that God's taken me into. And then after that, who knows? We'll see. Yeah.
That's great. Cosmetology, forgive my ignorance, is that what is that?
It's like hair, like facials, like all of that kind of stuff.
Gotcha.
So
okay. That's cool. Passion of yours.
Yep.
Way to serve people.
Yeah.
I love it.
Exactly.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
Well, Makayla, thank you so much for spending the time and letting us get to know you.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah. All right. I'll talk to you later.
See ya.
Bye.